would say we are at the low end of the respect spectrum in the South Bay. Daily Breeze doesn't give us a lot of credit, and a lot of the other powerhouses don't, which is for good reason. We just haven't been there. I think in recent years, since I've been here, just thinking out loud, we won the league twice, we won the South Tournament once, and I think that has helped garner some respect.
The program's headed in the right direction. I think as we were headed in the right direction, I'm not saying people are fair weather fans, but it's definitely coming out in the cold for a soccer game isn't as interesting as maybe as the football team. So I think we're gaining notoriety amongst the El Segundo residents. So we're headed in the right direction. I think we're gaining respect, not only in town, but in the South Bay community as well.
Yeah, I would think the perception is, like probably most of our teams, we're competitive. Sometimes we might be a little short on talent, but we work great chemistry, work real hard. And I think they know when teams come to play us that we're going to be in for a scrap with them. And we're well coached, we're responsible. Our kids play with great passion, and I think soccer exemplifies that like all the other sports.
In El Segundo, well, they love sports. They love baseball. Just having a soccer team and winning, that shows that we're not just a baseball school. In the South Bay, we never get any credit, but I think we proved a point this year.
This past season, the varsity soccer team did something that had never been done before in school history. Despite the challenges, the Eagles etched their name in the history books. This is the story of an underdog team. A team that never gave up, never broke down, and always believed in each other.
This is probably the most skilled soccer team I've coached at my time at the varsity level. So it's just one of those things, can they come together as a team, gel, and are we able to execute and not make too many mistakes? So I had full faith in these boys from the start. From a skill level standpoint, it was just a matter of gelling on the field, whether that was going to take place or not.
I wasn't in any way hoping for a CIF championship. That wasn't the goal at the beginning of the season.
For me, like preseason, I knew last year we didn't even make CIF, didn't even get to the playoffs, so I wanted to get in and get to the quarterfinals. We didn't really have many high hopes for this team. Like, we knew we had a good group of boys, and we knew that this year would have been a step up. I personally wanted to win league this year and make a decent run in CIF, but that didn't work out and turned out making a better run in CIF than league.
In a rematch from the CIF Division 5 finals just days before, the Eagles would have to defeat the Scorpions again, this time with much bigger stakes on the line.
In my mind, I was like, oh man, this can't be happening. Like, the team's gonna know what we're gonna do, we're gonna know what they're gonna do. It's just gonna be another showdown, and they're gonna be hungry for a win because they wouldn't want to lose twice, especially if it's in the championship.
In all honesty, I think there couldn't have been a worse team to face because they're coming at you full head on. They're holding a grudge, they want revenge. Going against them, there's more for that game for them than maybe another opponent. So I was worried, it was like, we might have to weather the first 10, 15 minutes because they're gonna be coming at us full throttle. And if we can do so, then I know we have the better, stronger side and the more skilled side, that we would prevail in the end.
We knew it was going to be a lot harder because that team was really passionate when we played them the first time, so we knew that when we played them the second time, it was just going to be so much harder because they were going to come out with just a lot more intensity.
On Championship Saturday, it was not your typical Southern California day. With heavy rain in the forecast, the Eagles had seen their fair share of bad weather this season and were not at all discouraged.
We kind of joked about it headed up to the game because we're like, we played in the snow when we went out to Hesperia, we've played in the heat, we've played in the cold, so why not just play a game in the rain? It's only fitting that that's the kind of game that we'd be in. So we knew the rain would have a slight impact on the game. The ball's going to skip a bit more. The keepers might struggle with balls coming into their hands. It'll be a little slippery, but those are just excuses. We knew if we come out and play hard, work hard, and we do it for each other, then we'd come out on top.
The conditions wasn't something we hadn't faced before. We had to play at the snow up in Oak Hill and played in like 80-degree weather in Desert Mirage. So, I mean, we were used to every kind of condition we had played in like throughout the season.
When the field's wet, it's a lot easier to play. The ball skips nicely, it zips around, and that actually suits our game. It's a nightmare for the goalkeepers. But it just, for me, it added to the element of excitement, intrigue. Anything can happen on a wet pitch, you know, cold, and you know, the crowd was full, and you know, they were up for it.
Going into Saturday, we just knew we had to win. We had a really good crowd out there, and we just knew that we really just couldn't let them down.
This is my last game as a soccer player at the high school. This is my last game ever in sports history at the school. I need to get a win, let's get a ring, and let's go home.
Warm-ups, I'm thinking we have a good shot to make history. We have a good shot to do something that no other team has done at the school, and you know, you just lay it out on the line, have no regrets at the end of the game.
I looked over, huge crowd. That was a little bit nervous. Like right as the game was about to start, then it hit me that like we were playing for a lot more than just another finals, and just the way that the other team huddled up and got each other so excited, like they looked like they were ready to play.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous, but I mean, once you get into the game after the first 5 minutes, you get that feeling out of you, and you just gotta play and do your job.
Before the goal, we've had a play throughout the season. Nate Salazar, huge throw-in. He gets it to Jack Finder's head, and then everybody rushes in and tries to get that second ball.
Segundo with a throw-in. It's headed into the box. Off the foot of Casey Long, Eagles score! 1-0, El Segundo.
So when I saw Nate's big throw, I knew what I was going to do, and Christoph Charles had a really nice flick to head, and I was just in the right place and got to tap it in. And at that moment, it was just so exciting. But we knew that they would have came back because it's a finals, why wouldn't they?
When the ball hit the back of the net and I saw that it was Casey finishing, I said, this is going to be a good day. He's been one of our talismans this year. He quietly goes under the radar, but I think he's scored in 6 straight games in these crucial matches. And when that went in, I said, here we go.
We were flying high because usually it takes us about a half to start scoring goals, but once we get at the beginning, I thought that we were doing very well. Nate threw it in, I headed to Casey, and then Casey put it away, so I was very excited at the beginning.
Wow, we got this in the bag. Casey just pulled it out of nowhere. No one expected it to be that quick. That just like set our tone for the game and kept us playing fast.
You know, it's one of those things. It's a double-edged sword. It's awesome. You score right away in the first minutes of the game. But then again, you're like, oh shoot, we're going to sit back and we're going to have to protect this lead for pretty much the whole entire game. You know they're going to come at us because they're going to have to get forward. So I was proud for the boys. The boys definitely deserved it, but it was one of those, let's hold back, let's make sure we're staying focused here and make sure we're shoring up defensively in order to soak up the attack that might be coming our way.
Another set piece for the Scorpions. Elijah Espinosa to take this one. Boots it in. A scramble, an empty net, and Herman Mia makes them pay. Score, Scorpions! It's tied up at 1 apiece.
You know, I felt like we gave a cheap one away, but you know, it happens. And I just remember telling Andrew, hey, it's 0-0, we got a 40-minute game.
Someone needs to step up, like right now. We always talk about it in huddles, and after people score, we always talk about it. If it's tied, someone needs to step up. And that person is like just unknown at that time.
No, I wasn't really fazed, to be honest with you. This wasn't anything unusual for us. We've been behind countless times in the second half. We've had games in which we came back in the last 12 minutes to tie it up. So I knew we would create, and I knew we'd get good opportunities, and I have faith in the boys that they'll take one of those opportunities and we'll get it tied.
In the second half, we just talked about how we need to play a little bit more wide, calm it down a little bit. Although it's hectic, it's crazy, it's a championship game, and it's raining, we just need to calm down, play our normal game, and eventually we'll get one in.
throughout CIF and throughout the season, we have been a second half team. We've came down from worse odds than 1-1. So going down, nobody was worried that we would score more goals. It was a matter of keeping them from scoring.
Another set piece for the Scorpions. Elijah Espinosa will take it once again. Sends it into the box off his right foot, and it's in the net! Cesar Roku takes the lead for the Scorpions 2-1.
A little bit of doubt does set in, at least with me personally. You never want to express that to the boys, but I thought, you know, here we are at the end of this run, it's raining, you know, none of us are feeling well, we're tired. You know, maybe it just quite isn't our night. And you know, that, again, that's just an element of doubt. Obviously, we keep fighting to the end, and then the result does speak for itself.
No, there wasn't much doubt. I mean, over the season, we've got comeback wins, tying it up, winning at the end of the game. So we've been in that position before. It's not like we had never faced adversity. We'd faced adversity since the second game of the season when we were down 1-0 and scored 3 goals in the last 5 minutes. So I think it's in our blood, in our the way that we play. I think that we were meant to come back.
I was thinking, well, it's not like we haven't been here before. Let's just kick it in and get it started now. Let's get another goal.
The Eagles down a goal, looking to make history in front of this home crowd. Running on offense, Jack Fenders with the ball, has Villalobos to his right. Fenders, 3-1 situation, shoots off the hands of Gallardo. Eagles score, and Eagles tie it up at 2 apiece.
We get it tied 2-2. There's still plenty of time on the clock. It allowed for us to kind of relax, take a sigh of relief, and kind of regroup and get at them again. And so that definitely was a nice way to get back on the score sheet for us.
He just kicked in the goal, he dropped it right in the net. I mean, I was really impressed that he took that shot because I wouldn't have taken it. But right then and there, we're like, okay, we got it, we can come back. Let's develop another play and let's go back at it.
I was actually directly behind Jack, and he looked right, he looked left, he had no options. And it looked like he kind of shrugged his shoulders, went straight on to goal and says, I'm gonna have a go. And he hit a great strike, and you know, the ball doesn't go in if you don't shoot.
Yeah, once it's tied up, once it's a level playing field, it's the team that wants it more. It's the team that's willing to work get that extra step up on somebody. That's who ends up winning the game.
Ciron Feeney, he's junior, will send it in for the Eagles. Nice boot inside the box. Christoph Charles with a second tap, beats Gallardo, and the Eagles take the lead, 3-2.
Wow, we got a lead. That's rare for us. Except in the final games, we got one twice, but a lead was rare. We were usually coming back.
On set pieces, we preach to the boys, you have to be first to the ball, you have to be second to the ball, and it's innate with us that, you know, they're really aggressive on those set pieces. We've scored a lot of goals this year, you know, and Christoph is a big boy, and he's in there for just that reason, and he stuffed it home, and I thought, you know, this is it, we're gonna do it. And, you know, with the amount of time, I thought, we're home free.
And at that moment, I was like, Christoph's our guy. He's our game winner. And he's deserving. He works hard in the box, gets on the end of things, and he puts it away. Scrappy goal's a goal when all is said and done. He gave us the lead.
Well, usually I go up on set pieces mostly because of my height, but Kieran sends in the ball bounces a little bit. It was a little confusion, but then I just saw the ball wide open and just had to take a poke at it. And after that, you know, it's just the best feeling in the world, scoring a goal in the regional championships in front of your home crowd. It's great. After the little break in between that we had because of the field issues, I was thinking that we just needed to calm down. We changed our formation to have 2 people in front of me to just try to tie it down, but then, you know, then they scored.
Going into that last free kick, we know we needed 1 save, but we knew that they were dangerous on free kicks, and they did it. They got one.
A golden opportunity for the Scorpions here with just a few minutes remaining and a chance to tie this match up at 3 apiece. Trickery, Espinosa takes it, boots it in the top corner. They are tied. Hesperia ties it up with minutes remaining at 3-3.
At that point, I was like, wow, this is actually happening. They just scored with 2 minutes left. Like, we have to do something right now.
You know, I was in shock, thinking about how much time was on the clock and all we needed to do was manage the game. And that, you know, I think the weather definitely played a part in that goal. And I thought, well, if we're gonna actually win it this year, we gotta go the whole way. We're gonna go to extra time and we're going to penalties just like we did in earlier rounds.
I mean, of course, the championship game, we had to go through some more adversity. So after that, I mean, at first you get mad, at first you get a little frustrated, but then you have to realize that you gotta throw that out the window. You gotta keep playing.
In the moment of their last goal, we were all feeling a little bit defeated, letting them come back and tie the game in the final minutes. We were all a little bit defeated then. But once that final whistle blew, most people on the team said, all right, that's over and done with. Let's get started and let's go win this in overtime. Let's get a goal and celebrate.
Were we kind of frustrated giving away a goal late on? Yes, but we knew we could come back and settle the score maybe in overtime. We had full belief that we could do that.
After a grueling 90-plus minutes, both teams at a lock, 3-3. Overtime is next.
The strategy going into overtime was just to carry on with what we're doing in the attack and to make sure that we're not giving away any sloppy set pieces in and around our own box, because that seems to be where they scored 2 of their goals were set pieces. So if we could eliminate those from their play, then we knew we'd create our own opportunities. Once again, who wants to be the winner and get us that victory.
I think neither team wanted to make that crucial error, so it was very touchy. It was, you know, very tactical, and I had a feeling. I told Andrew, pick your 5 penalty takers because this one's going to penalties.
Overtime was a stalemate. Both El Segundo and Hesperia fought hard, but the score remained the same in the end. Penalty kicks are needed to crown a champion.
So I knew, regardless of who I set up there, that we were going to put the ball in the back of the net, and I had belief that James would at least get us one save or 2 saves, and that would set us up in order to clinch it.
Isaac Cunningham, the sophomore, the first man sent up by the Scorpions. He goes right, goalie goes left. Scorpions take a 1-0 lead. Tyler Villalobos stepping onto the pitch.
I like going first. I like being confident and setting the tone for my team, but I went up there and I kicked the ball in the same spot I always do, and Adrian, the goalie, was really good and he stopped it.
Thinking there's a lot of time left, and I'm like, it's like I told Tyler when he was coming back after. I was like, don't worry about it. James got your back, man. It's not a big deal. We'll be right back in this, just 1 point or another. They've got to miss 1, and it's an even game.
I thought, oh shoot, this isn't our night. You know, their keeper's really good. It was going to be really hard to put any more past him, especially saving that first one probably gave him a ton of confidence. And we had a lot of work to do.
The Scorpions countering with a senior of their own, the captain, Cesar Roku. Jukes, shoots, scores! Hesperia takes a 2-0 lead.
I was personally really scared for Logan taking because me and him play on a separate team with the keeper from Hesperia. So he knows where Logan and I usually shoot our PKs. And Logan has a thing where he always goes to the right, and he stuck with it and it worked out for him, but that was a scary one.
Logan is one of those players that you can pretty much turn your head and look at the next guy because you know it's going in.
It's just good to see that my teammates can still be composed in PKs and burying it. Logan kicks the ball in the same place every single time, and he actually thought he was going to miss that one. So just knowing that he made it gave him a little bit more confidence, and it gave us a little more confidence that we might win it.
So we were just hoping that James would come up with a save or they'd miss it, so we were just hopeful.
The Scorpions up 2-1. Gilbert Higuera has to feel a little bit confident. Higuera overshoots it over the crossbar, and the score remains the same.
Well, I jumped off the bench once their player missed that one over the goal. I thought there's the crack, there's the weakness, now is our chance. And here we go again, momentum shift, emotion shift, everybody on the bench was up, and we really started to believe at that point.
Malcolm Holtzman making the slow walk up onto the pitch.
Yeah, you know, once again, Malcolm, I don't think Malcolm's missed. He's another calm character, takes it nonchalantly.
A big opportunity for Holtzman. A win here would be tremendous for him and his community, and he shoots, and he scores!
And he just slots it.
Elijah Espinosa has been so crucial to Hesperia. Espinosa, the chip shot is good, and the Scorpions lead 3-2.
It's going to take something special in order to be the difference between the two teams.
Jack Finders, good for a goal, 3-3. We're tied up again.
Jack's amazing. He's what we call the god on the team. He goes up there and kicks the ball in the same spot. He's really good, and we all knew Jack would make it. We just didn't want to be overly confident that he might miss. But just knowing that Jack would make it, we felt a little bit more confident.
I thought James, he's a gamer, I thought he had one more save in him. Again, I looked at the rest of our penalty takers, including Jack, and I thought those guys are all automatic. They've been consistent all year. We just need that one moment, a lucky moment, a bit of skill, something to happen.
Not wasting any time. Puts the moves, but misses. Goes wide left. And the Segundo Eagles have a chance to make history.
The run-up from the Hesperia player, again, I had a really nice angle, and he was a lefty. And from where I was standing, when the ball went onto goal, I couldn't see if it had gone in or not. So I kind of looked over at Alan, and he was jumping up and down because he saw that it had went wide.
That miss before was one of the biggest reliefs I've ever had.
All Casey has to do is go up and make it, and this is all over, and we can be champions once again.
Casey, I think I've mentioned this for all the players, he's a calm, collected individual, as you can probably tell from his lead-up taking a ridiculous amount of time prior to his kick to psych out the keeper. But he's not going to let the moment get to him. He's going to come up, he's going to execute, and he's going to put the ball in the back of the net.
Just going up there and knowing that if I make it, I get to be the hero. I get to be the one that won the game for us. And if I miss, it's not the end of the world. I didn't just lose it for my school, my community. Like, just knowing that I didn't have that big of a burden on my shoulders, really just let me be confident and just take the penalty that I know how to take.
I mean, at first I turned away because I just couldn't watch.
Honestly, in my mind, I was like, you have to just go now, kick it. He waited 15 seconds before he actually went up and kicked the ball. I was just like, okay, go now. Go now. Go up and kick it.
Casey Lund knows Gallardo very well. Gallardo knows Lund as well. Who's going to win? Casey Lund! Goal! The Eagles have done it! The Eagles have made history!
He waited so long, but eventually, as soon as he made it, I felt nothing but excitement.
I'm good friends with the other team's goalkeeper, so I looked at him, I smiled. I thought he knew where I was going, but after I shot it, he guessed the wrong way.
And interestingly enough, it came full circle. Casey was a penalty taker in our very first game this year against Torrance, and he missed. And it seemed like it had shattered his confidence. We didn't really go to him again from the penalty spot until the playoffs started. And I thought how fitting, he's one of our most vocal leaders, he's the team captain, for him to get last kick. And it's kind of been his MO to do the stutter, to wait, to kind of put the goalie under pressure. And once he walked up and slotted it very calmly, I knew Casey deserved to have that moment.
With the weather and the rain, it just made for great drama. Just pouring. The hardest time of the game was pouring in those PKs, and and back and forth. And then Casey got the game winner on the last one.
Have it! Come on, son. Take the time! Take the time!
Unbelievable. That was the highlight of my soccer career in everything I've done. Just getting to celebrate. First of all, running my keeper, James. He saved us so many times over the course of the season. Just one-on-ones, in PKs. he was the rock of that team all season. Getting to go and celebrate with him first, having the team get there, everybody's dogpiling, and then just having the stands get out there, and unbelievable feeling.
It just felt amazing to know that I finished my senior year perfectly in playoffs, not losing, and I ended on a positive note with all my friends there, all my teammates there, and all my family there. It was a moment that I will never forget.
At that moment, what you've been working on and building on and you know, working on your tactics and planning, it comes to fruition, and you're really emotional with your colleagues because you guys did it as a group. So you always celebrate with the coaches, and my philosophy is let the players have their moment. They're the ones that have been in battle together all year. Their bonds have been increasing. They've played like a team more and more each game, and we wanted for them, especially the seniors, you know, and anybody really, to have that moment with their friends, the players, or the fans rushing the field, and then, you know, we went out into the melee and enjoyed it a little bit.
Man, it just felt absolutely amazing. You know, the whole team. I mean, it's a collective effort. Even though some people may not play as much, but it's high hopes on the sideline. Nobody on the sideline saying, "Oh, why aren't we playing?" You know, they're all for the team, and that's just a great feeling.
Let people know that, you know, soccer's here and it's arrived, and it's a team and a program to be reckoned with.
I couldn't think of any better result and any better way to end it than for these boys who've come in once the league started, turned their season around, and been fighting for one another throughout. It was a great opportunity, an unprecedented opportunity for El Segundo High School, and I couldn't think of a better group of boys for this achievement to happen to.
A small school from a small city made history. They did something no one thought was possible when this journey began. They overcame many deficits. They were poised, calm, and collective. And now they are known simply as champions. They are the Mighty Eagles, the 2017-2018 CIF Regional Champions.